All right, guys, in this video, I want to go over the zero DTE strategy that I'm going to be doing. The reason why I'm liking this strategy a lot is because one, you do not have to have a stop loss. So I know that sounds crazy and silly, but you literally don't have to have a stop loss because your risk is already defined on zero DTEs. I think we can all raise our hands and be like, how many times have you got stopped out just for the price to go your way? Many, many times has that happened. So for example, let's say you put in $500 into a zero DTE, and the max you can lose is $500. But on a zero DTE, you can make 50 to 100% relatively fast, and you can make it, in a blink of an eye, right? Very fast. So with this strategy, I'm going to show you is how do you catch when the momentum is there. All right. So I'm going to use the opposite. Basically, I'm going to go against the trend and look for price to make big moves down or big moves up. And we go against the trend to make that reversions to the mean. So let me show you what I'm exactly looking at. So for here is QQQ. The nice thing is with indexes, you can do, hold up, let me add my widget here. You can do zero DTEs on all these indexes. So if you go to 20 strikes here, um, you can see right up in here, zero DTEs right here in the middle. So you see the calls and the puts on each side. What I'm typically probably going to do is going to go in between the 50 and the dollar cents range. So if you can see right in here, you see how the bid is 282, the ask is 3. I'm probably going to go in between that. So let's just look at a 1 DTE because the day's done. Realistically, what I'm probably going to do is right in the 60-cent range. I think that's a very decent one where I can scale in some too if I need to. So I'm looking to scale in 2 times. I'm going to do, let's say if I have $500, I'm going to look to spend $250 on each average in. So let's say the premium's at, I get in at 65 cents. And it's not unlikely that it can go from 65 to the 50 cents area. So I will be looking to add in each one. And basically how I'm looking to add, I'll go over the strategy after that. So 2 accumulations, max $500 or whatever you're comfortable with, and you can make a buttload of money doing this. All right, so here is QQQ. You're going to just do this on the indexes, QQQ, SPY, or IWM. What you're looking for, you're going to want these bands on. You're looking for price to either come to the lower green band or the upper band. This is Keltner channels at a factor of 4. All right, so when price does that, it's extremely oversold. All right, there's usually a bounce back to the reversion to mean. And what's that reversion to mean? That's going to be your EMAs here. We got the 5, 10, 20, and 50. Now, if I see something like this where I get in here, which would qualify the system, and it immediately goes to the 5, you better believe it. I'm taking out some contracts and I'm going break even. So let's say I'm getting 60 cents, right? I can buy a good bit of those, right? So let's say I got a total of 10 contracts. I will sell 5 of those out and then hold the rest of the 5 for a bigger reversion mean. So let's say we just keep going up and up and up. And then I'm going to always have these at a break even here. So I'll sell more at the 20, sell more at the 50, and then it's just a lotto hit from there. But as you can see, when price is below the EMA 200, though, you're in a downtrend. Unless we make an uptrend, we're probably going to keep going down. That's why this is trading against the trend, but you can also make astronomical returns if you go against the trend and it just goes all the way and switches the trend up. All right, I'll show you plenty of examples that happens. But right in here, we'll qualify for the trade here at the lower band. And now, granted, I'm not just going to take any trade that just touches the lower band. It has to have time distance away from this 20 or 50 because remember, price is going to come back and touch that. So if we leave this 20 for quite some time, anything that don't touch the 20 in 30 minutes is considered long. You can look at the timestamp on here is 10:10. All the way over here is 10:33. So, we had about 15, 20 minutes of time distance here, and then it shoots back up, all right? You can see right up in here, same, we have some time distance here. Would I have taken it? Probably not, but it would have made you a lot of money. This one right up in here, time distance, gets very close. I would have taken that, added some more down in here if it goes lower, and then look at this. Monster reversion mean. The reason why I would have taken that is because we know we're eventually going to switch the trends on the 200. Very rarely do I see we just downtrend the whole day. And what happens? We eventually switch the trends, and now we're scaling up. All right, so I'm going to show you a lot of examples. I'm going to journal these trades so you can see But one of your biggest plays you're going to get is right at the bell. Remember, you need volatility to come to the bands. If price does not come to these bands, you don't take a trade. So you need that monster volatility and you need that time distance. Look at this beautiful trade on QQQ. You literally did not touch the EMA 20 since 902. Monster reversion to the mean here. I would have definitely added into here. I probably would not have taken the first minute candle because remember, when price opens up on market hours, it's so volatile that it can go way above the bands. I give it some, candles above it. So I probably would have added in here, added some more if it goes up. But the nice thing about zero DTEs, you don't have to have a stop loss. So let's say it goes against you 20%. You're like, no big deal. I'm going to keep holding it because I know my risk is defined. All right. Now, if you're down like, 50, 70%, and it's not even looking close, then yeah, you can salvage the trade, make it back on another trade. That's why you have to risk what you're willing to lose. You can do this with the prop firms. I have a prop firm here if you want to just try out the strategy. Prop firm discount, go to Vanquish Trader here, use that discount, use a 10K account with the promo code RTK. You can get it for $50 and a free reset. But this strategy, I have done this a lot in the past, but I have got feedback from a lot of the members of, we need to get rid of the stop loss. I've been having 10, 20% stop loss, but the problem is, like, let's say you got in here and it just barely goes against you and nick you out just for you to make this monster return right here. Look at this outrageous return you would have had on the Qs, right? But we know that 200's at the bottom. If they don't break this, it's probably going to make an uptrend. But remember, the biggest gains is you make an uptrend to a downtrend. All right. Right up in here, you can see we haven't hit the EMA 20 since 1050. It's 1057. Not really the time distance I would have taken. I wouldn't have taken this stock. I'd like to see over 10 minutes of time distance. But you can trade this on the Qs, the IWM, the SPY. I'm just going to keep on going over the things. But look at this monster game right in here. You have the touch here, 1413. Wait about 10 minutes at least. 1413 to what? 1423. Where are you getting in on an entry? Boom, down in there. You scale in some more here as it goes lower. And then look at the monster return. That right there would make you insane money. You're talking about an over 100, 200% return because volatility is going in your favor. It's going instantly in. You catch in the bottom. You wait 10 minutes of time distance. You got to wait the time distance. That way, if you might get excited like, oh, it's touching the lower band. It goes even lower, goes even lower, goes even lower. Remember, anything that don't touch the EMA 20 in 30 minutes is long, so that's why you want to at least give it that 10 minutes buffer. But I've seen the best setups here where they hug the band like here, and then they go flying up, all right? So the reason why I like the option strategy is because, like I said, how many times have you got stopped out just for it to go your way? When you're trading against the trend, we're looking for big moves down or big moves up, and then boom, it just reverts the mean. Remember, EMA 5 will get hit, 10 will get hit, 20 will get hit, and 50 will get hit. So when we get this price, when I've seen a move like this, if we get a price going to the 10, you better believe I'm taking profit and I'm going break even. That way, if it comes back down, I don't want to because we know this can revert back down. Because we know when EMAs are above, price can act as resistance. Would I have taken this? No, not at the lower band. Would I have taken this? 931, 935, not really a lot of time distance. Wouldn't have taken that. But you can see how, you don't need to take a lot of trades a day. Just be very selective. One nice little trade right there would have made you a bunch of money. I mean, look at this beautiful setup here. You see why you wait? Obviously, you can't trade options here, but look at that monster gain you would have had of it just like going monsterly up. I'm just looking at the Qs right now. You can see right here, nothing really touching the lower band. But you can see, look at this. This is why, look at the monster rallies you're getting with this strategy. If getting super close, maybe I might take it, maybe I'm not. Right up in here, touch the upper band, pulls back down. Doesn't really have the time distance. You can look at many things. You can even look at IWM for trade ideas too. And I'll be posting this in the Discord day trade chat. I'll be like, hey guys, we need to be looking at QQQ for calls or QQQ for puts. And potentially all of that. IWM, don't really see anything, but you can see how price is always moving in waves. You have price going up, down, up, down. When price gets to this lower band, it's it's overextended or oversold, okay? But having that time distance is a crucial key because we know price will revert back to the EMA 20. Now, the only time you don't really need to use time distance, like for example, let's say this goes to a factor of 5, right? And it just goes massively over down in a blink of an eye. That is what you call the liquidity grabs, where price just makes a monster dump in a blink of an eye, like way past that 4 and into the 5 area. You can take a shot at it. But yeah, I'll be doing this in the Discord if you guys want to join. I'll post these in the day trade chats, the day trade, big cap day trades here, day trades here. But I'm going to do the 0 DTE strategy. You can follow me along on Vanquish if you don't have the money. But even if you do have the money on a personal account, you don't have to spend a lot. You can spend literally $100. You can spend, just $60, one contract. I recommend going at least $100, have a little skin in the game. That way you can do 2 contracts, scale one out, hold one break even, and go. But if you have $100, making a simple 10% is $10 of that. You see how you can massively grow your account. You should be easily getting at least 20% base hits, and then 50% and above is your runners. All right, there's no doubt where you can't be making over 50% on some of these plays. No doubt, you should not. I mean, some of these plays are going to go massively in your favor. The best trades are going to be usually right on the bell, where there's lots of volatility, or just randomly throughout here. So that's why we know when this is happening, you got to be on your A game. Like, oh guys, check out this. SPY's dropping down. Everyone get ready to load up those calls. And then look at this monster move up. All right, guys. Like I said, though, join the Discord if you haven't already. We'll get your chart set up. It's just best to be in a community to help each other out. You're not going to see all these all the time, so it's best to have more eyes on this. I also have a bot that kind of will alert me when the SPY is touching this lower band or Q is touching the lower band. You can see that in the day trade. You can get that set up in the day trade alerts or day trade chat. There's a pin thing here. You can find the settings here. You can find it right up in here. But it's a really nice thing. I think you guys are going to love it. I like this strategy. I've done this one a lot, and it just makes you, what's nice is you don't have to worry about the stop loss getting hit. And then don't have to put a lot of money in. And then you can make massive returns with the less amount of money you have. Taking out the stop loss is one of the best features ever out there. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you have a 0 DTE, your risk is already defined. The max that you can lose is what you put in. And usually, yeah, obviously if you're down 50, 70%, you're gonna be like, okay, we'll sabotage that 30, 40% we have left. But that's not going to happen often. It's got to be like a really bad news that happens where there is no reversion to the mean. Like maybe Trump does a tariff tweet and boom, it all goes down. But what if you did another strategy? You're putting way more money into it, right? Whereas this strategy, you don't have to put a lot of money in it and get a lot of returns in return. So that's the nature of 0 DTE. All right. As always, if you want to join the Discord, click the link down below in YouTube comments below and in the description. It'll say join the premium Discord for my alerts. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. Hit how to subscribe and hit big cap day trade alerts. If you want access to everything, it'll be $12 a month, and you'll get access to day trades, swing trades, live education, or live streams every day. I'll probably go live on the Discord here in the day trade live stream. I'm probably not going to do it on the Twitch anymore. I'm probably just going to do it through here. Maybe I'll do Twitch on Fridays for everyone to join in. But thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like, subscribe, comment if you enjoy these kind of videos. This is by far, in my opinion, the best way to trade 0 DTEs because you need momentum. You can't trade a 0 DTE when there's no momentum, when it's consolidating. You want to trade it when it's making fast momentum. And where's that happening? When price is swiftly coming down to these lower bands, time distance, boom, make a massive move up. You've like doubled your account easily. And I mean, just one trade like this a week, you're golden, right? But yeah, you're not going to get trades every day. There might be a day you just don't get a trade. But that's why I say focus on the 3, SPY, QQQ, and IWM. And then on Fridays, you could do stocks. They offer 0 DTs too. So we can go from there. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one. Join the Discord. It's literally only $12 a month if you subscribe on your computer. You can avoid the iOS fee if you do that. I mean, it's so freaking easy. You'll learn a lot for sure. I've been practicing these strategies. I love this band strategy. It's my go-to strategy where there's no guesswork in the trade. You know where to get in. You know when the volatility happens, and you go from there. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Join the Discord if you want to. Subscribe on your computer. It's only $12.